Hello there, and welcome back to Non-Name Talks.
It's great to be here. Okay, so let's unpack this modern paradox of solo living. It's often viewed through the lens of loneliness, right?
That's the common view.
But increasingly, it feels like a really deliberate choice people are making. And that choice, it's having this massive impact on the global economy.
That's the key takeaway right away, yeah. Our sources confirm this isn't just some quiet lifestyle shift. It's actually an economic power player.
A power player, how so?
Well, singles now account for over two-thirds of overall consumer spending. They're effectively driving this whole solo economy.
Wow, 2/3.
Yeah. And if you look at major cities like, say, Bangkok,
Yeah.
50% of the population there is single.
50%.
Yeah,
Okay, that really puts some serious weight behind this whole conversation then.
definitely.
So I guess our mission today is to kind of move past that stigma, the fear of being alone, and give you some actionable strategy to really maximize this time if you're living solo.
Exactly. And that really starts with understanding the difference between solitude and loneliness. They're not the same thing at all, right? Solitude is something you choose. It's an opportunity for freedom and self-discovery. It actually builds genuine emotional stability and self-reliance.
So it's in those moments you figure out what you actually like.
Yeah.
Without worrying about others.
Precisely. You find your authentic preferences, your values, without that constant kind of low-level pressure of social expectations or pleasing people.
Okay, now here's something I found really interesting, especially for anyone needing a concentration boost.
Mm-hmm.
When you're alone, apparently your brain isn't spending all that energy trying to maintain social manners or figure out what others want.
Right, it frees up cognitive resources.
And this freedom can significantly boost imagination and focus. It actually prevents something called social loafing.
Yeah, social loafing. It's basically when people put in less effort on a group task than they would if they were working alone. It's a known psychological effect.
Huh. Never heard that term.
So choosing solitude gives you that mental space for deeper work, for creativity. And what's fascinating, I think, is that this strength you gain when you're comfortable alone, it means you actually appreciate your relationships more when you are with people.
How so?
Because you didn't need the company out of desperation, You chose it. It adds value.
Okay, that makes sense. But we do have to acknowledge the flip side, don't we?
Absolutely.
Because while chosen solitude sounds empowering, forced solitude, like what we saw during recent lockdowns, that correlated with some serious downsides.
Oh, definitely. Big increases in anxiety, depression, even problematic alcohol use in some cases. So yeah, proactive management is absolutely critical if you're alone a lot.
Right. So what does that look like? Proactive management.
Well, we call it emotional first aid. It means planning ahead, like before you hit those inevitable moments of low morale. So actually create a personalized list. Write it down. Mood-boosting activities, maybe is calling that one really good friend, keeping a sort of positive journal, or even just, brewing a really good cup of coffee and savoring it.
Yeah.
Silly TV can work too.
Having that list ready before you need it. Gotcha. And I guess the foundation needs to be solid too, right? It's not just about mood boosters.
Totally holistic. You need that stable structure. Sufficient sleep, a reasonably healthy diet, regular exercise, and crucially, especially for the solo liver, financial stability.
The money part.
Yeah. And it's basic stuff sometimes, like paying your bills promptly. That's actually cited as a critical factor in maintaining overall mental well-being when you don't have a partner double-checking things.
That's a good point. Little stresses add up.
They really do. And speaking of practicalities, we also can't ignore just pure self-reliance, like basic home stuff.
Oh, yeah.
When you live alone, you're the first responder for everything. Learn some small repairs. Get a basic toolkit. YouTube is amazing for this stuff.
Your helpful friend, YouTube. Slight laugh.
Seriously. It builds tremendous confidence when you can fix that leaky faucet yourself.
Yeah.
And reduces stress.
Yeah, and saves calling the plumber for something simple.
Right.
Okay, so speaking of spending, let's dive into the finances of this solo economy.
Right.
The data confirms this self-splurge thing. Singles spending way more, like up to 4 times more than families sometimes, on things like beauty, fitness, home decor.
Paying heavily because they love themselves, as one source put it. Experiences, skills workshops, too.
But wait, if they spend that much more, doesn't that suggest solo living is just inherently more expensive, maybe not even sustainable for everyone?
That's a really important question. And the data reflects 2 things, I think. Yes, there's that intentional spending on self-care and improvement, but also Yeah, solo living is often more expensive per person.
How so?
Well, utility costs don't just have when one person moves out, right? Rent for a one-bedroom isn't usually half the price of a two-bedroom.
Yeah.
And bulk buying groceries, often wasteful.
Okay, yeah, makes sense.
So that higher cost, plus the lack of a second income cushion, or someone right there if you get sick, it really demands financial foresight. Planning becomes essential.
So what kind of planning?
Well, studies actually show singles might face greater health risks down the line compared to partnered people. So getting health insurance, and especially critical illness insurance early on, that's absolutely vital. It's really an imperative, not just like a good idea.
Okay, financial security covered. But what about actual physical security, personal safety?
Critical piece. Part of being sharp and independent means securing your space. Simple stuff, but important.
Like what?
Never, ever disclose you live alone on public social media profiles. Be really cautious about posting photos tagged right near your home or your workplace. Geotagging can be risky.
Right, basic digital safety.
Exactly. And have some kind of immediate access to personal defense measures, whether that's a good security system or even just, pepper spray or a solid stick kept somewhere easy to grab in an emergency. Awareness and a plan are key.
Awareness and a plan. Okay.
So if we kind of pull all this together, the transition to a solo life, whether you chose it or it just happened, it's really this opportunity to cultivate genuine inner strength, self-worth, resilience.
Right. It's not just about being alone. It's about building something internally. So here's maybe a final thought for you to mull over. If true happiness really comes from self-acceptance, from understanding yourself,
Yeah.
how might actively seeking out controlled, positive solitude, that chosen solitude we talked about, actually strengthen your ability to cope with whatever life throws at you? Strengthen that core resilience.
That's the deeper question, isn't it? How solitude builds resilience. Something to think about.